This is gonna be a third video. I can't help it. I was gonna run out of time. So the Kirsten girls, right? Their first pinups. Right. Of course, you had here. Look at these, securing the peace. Right. And I made the joke in the last video. Like it's like these beautiful women, and now like you look at that when you look at something like this today, it's all fucking drag queens or whatever. So. And in the end, that's what this won, right? That's what the world that became. Oh, you're. I've always been accused by various people of pointing things out that that's not related. That's too convoluted. No, you were wrong. I was right. Thank you. I said it for years, and now you're seeing it. So these are people you don't know. I'm just saying. That's right. I was right. So I told you so. All right. Doesn't matter, right? Okay, profound grief. Nearly 1 million of the British Empire's population have been killed. Right? And of course, remember, you got a lot of guys dying in the year after from their wounds. Of course, remember, too, you had the influenza. You actually had a actual fucking plague that killed more people than the damn war. Right? So in the end, to round, the unknown British soldier. Right. Look at this art again. Really amazing. Like here, you got the victory, right? Of course, for the Germans, right? There's no peace. The war's over. You're still like, wait a minute, we're still in France. Nobody kicked us out. You go back to Germany. Everything's in chaos. You got Reds everywhere, scummy Reds. You have a government you don't trust, and the Poles are taking all this, are trying to take all this territory and make it there under their control. So the German soldiers came back. They had like there was no rest for them. They had to go and fight as the Freikorps. All right. But in the Anglosphere, the war was over, and it was sort of like the glorious dead, the cenotaph, right? Like the Boatfill song. Yeah, and you get all this sentimental stuff, which is, like I said, the 2 million plus German soldiers who died, they had no time to grieve. The country was in chaos. But anyway, it was an interesting look at this. Obviously, this is made for an older audience, a boomer audience that would remember this more than anyone. And maybe weird Gen X British people or people like me that would remember this for other reasons. I'm not typical. Most Americans don't even remember World War One. I do because of my European grandparents and what I know of my family history. Right. What can I say? I got a little time, but yeah, just looking at the art was really interesting. So really good. You had some modernist type kind of art, right? It's look at that. It looks like something out of the Civil War, but that's I think that's a French soldier. But like this one here. Look, hey mate, you got the Christmas pudding. I didn't even know what the hell this was. You always hear about Christmas pudding. I figure it's like pudding, like in a can, right? But Arkham Reporter actually showed me a picture of a Christmas pudding that he bought for his family, and with brandy on it. It was really cool. I like that picture. The guy's like, even though it's early in 1914. So, what can I say? The Great War, right? The war to end all wars. The World War. The beginning of the end of the European, the white race, on so many levels. But and looking at this stuff too, for me anyway, as a Gen Xer who's in between worlds, I can't speak for the later generations. You see the world that we had, right? America, Europe. You see what there was. You see how people were. You see how the men looked like men, the women looked like women. Rarely anyone was fat. You're putting your best foot forward, right? The dignity, right? The stoicism, the sense of duty, which was a good thing in and of itself, but was used for horrible, tragic, had tragic consequences. And this is more than a century. This is more than a century. I remember in 2014, it was 100 years since World War One. I remember the being struck by that. 100. I had a DVD that I got at Best Buy. 100 years of World War One. I was like, wow. And that was 2014. Now it's 10 years later. You reflect. If you showed the world of today to these people, any of these people, okay, the most socialist person, the most Christian person from any nation, if you showed them the world you had today, they couldn't even conceive it. And I know they wouldn't have been able to conceive it because I can barely conceive it. As a man who's nearly a half century old, this was the as Lothrop Stoddard said, this was the Peloponnesian War for the white race. And now we're all living in the aftermath of it, the shadows of it. Okay, and of course the Second War, Jesus, sort of cements this fate. But hey, the art was beautiful, very interesting, and like I said, we're not done yet. It's not over yet, not by a long shot. Later.